Hello, beautiful people. It is Dr. Unique Simpson, and I am so excited to be back, to be recording this episode. I love podcasting. I love talking to people, and in the process, hopefully encouraging you all along the way. Please forgive me. I know it has been a while. However, we are here now. I will say that one of the reasons why it has taken me so long to record is because I was not entirely sure what direction I wanted to go in. I feel as though I have covered, for the most part, all of the um, principles that make up the acronym for PRETTY, all of the subject matters. And so I do understand that there is so much more that we can dive into regarding them. But for my part, I have mostly covered what I intended to cover. And so I would like to have others on, those of you who have listened, learned, or even just have different perspectives on the topics. So if you are a listener and you would like to be a guest, feel free to reach out. We do have an email address. It is something. I'll put it in the description of the episode. Don't come for me. I should have been better prepared, but I just can't think of the email for the podcast off the top of my head. However, do know that we are on Instagram, Permission to Be Pretty. And if you have any trouble, you can always find me on Facebook and also on Instagram under Apostle Dr. Unique Simpson. And I believe I have a link tree on there that can connect you as well. Anyway, since I do not have a guest on today's episode, I want to clarify something. While I have discussed being powerful, real, emotional, transparent, teachable, and unique, I want to clarify that we ought not to be all of these things separately. In other words, each of them directly correlate with the other. It's like a puzzle. Your puzzle is your pretty, or your pretty is your puzzle. I hope that makes sense. They all should coexist in our being, in our doing, in our living. In other words, we give ourselves permission to be whole. We give ourselves permission to be complete, to show up in the authenticity of who we are, which is comprised of our power, our authenticity, our emotions, our transparency, our ability to be taught, and what makes us unique. Now, Christ came that we might have life and have life abundantly. That means that your pretty should also not be separate from your life in Christ. So when I say whole, I in no way mean that you can be complete or whole without God. That's my story, that's my life, and I am sticking to it. With that being said, I do not intend to be before you long. I just want to reiterate the power of your pretty, the liberty of your pretty, the evolution of your pretty, how you have the right to be unapologetically pretty. Some days you might feel less than. Some days I feel like I look like what I'm feeling or what I'm going through. And I have learned through the years that I do not have to reserve getting myself together or presenting myself for the day to others and not be mindful of how I present myself for me. For example, I'm not going anywhere today. I'm not going out of the house. I do not plan on leaving at all. But I love a good scent. I love to moisturize my skin and fix my hair. I want to be pleased with who I see in the mirror. I love taking care of my skin, my face, moisturizing, and I have my favorite lip glosses and my favorite scents. I say that because when I was younger, there were just certain things I did not do if I was not leaving the house. There was a time as a very young girl, I didn't care to fix my hair if no one else was going to see it. I didn't care to, just do certain things. I would have my house clothes and, I was comfortable with that. But I've grown to accept being comfortable with heightened self-care. I guess that's what I'll call it. In other words, if no one else smells me but me, I want to be able to like my scent. And I'm not just talking about being clean, guys. I'm not just talking about showering. I'm just talking about the little extra things you do. Especially as women and even as men, you might do extra things if you're going out of the house or extra things if you're going on a date. And I just mean that I do those extra things for me. I deserve it. That's what I mean. And so give yourselves permission, to be blown away by yourself. Like, ooh, child, you smell good. Ooh, you're looking good. Wow, look at your skin glistening and glowing. Look at you. Compliment yourself and give yourself a reason to be complimented by yourself. Anyway, I don't know if that's me going off on a tangent. That's another aspect of being pretty, but I just want to say that our being pretty is for us. If you are blessed by my pretty, then that is by default, because baby, I choose to bless myself every day. So how do they all tie in? If you go back and listen to the episodes, if you have not already, I believe that when I lay out my perspective on each, you can easily connect the dots. So I just simply want to say to you today to walk in your power, to stand in your realness, your authenticity. Stand up in it. Stand tall in who you are. Tune in to your emotions. Connect. Be present. Be present with your feelings, whether they be good or bad. Tune in. Tune all the way in. Use transparency to your advantage. It is how you connect. Don't hold back because others do or because you have been taught that it is necessary. But then on the flip side, you wish that someone would open up to you or knew how. Perhaps you're in a relationship and you feel a disconnect and you just wish that they would be more transparent, yet you yourself are lacking in that area. Transparency, again, is a gift. Use that gift to your advantage. Be an example in this area. Listen to learn, to be taught, be teachable. When I say listen, I don't just mean listen to others. Listen to others, of course. Listen to yourself. Listen to your heart. Again, tuning in to your emotions. Listen to your surroundings. Listen, most importantly, to God. Stop. Hear. Quiet yourself and just listen. Just listen. Don't listen to repeat always. Don't listen to just to satisfy a temporary need or desire or just to receive a quick answer, but listen. Pay close attention. And lastly, live in your uniqueness. When I say give yourself permission to be pretty, and if we scale this back and make it pertinent to just how we look, for example, we all look different. We are all unique. However, we live in a world and deal in a society where there are standards of beauty, standards of success. I do not look like the next person. I do not look like anyone who is listening to this podcast, unless, of course, you might be one of my natural offspring. But even then, we do not look identical. In our world, in our communities especially, we have standards, and there are, again, beauty standards. And if we or if someone does not meet what someone else has decided is the beauty standard, then they are somehow not pretty or handsome. Give yourself permission to be pretty. Baby, I'm pretty. I might not be your standard, but I'm God's standard, and I am pretty. This brings to my mind a conversation that I was having with one of my children, and I'll use this as an example. So, you all know, I'm sure, that you often hear things. For example, we will hear that someone is short or someone is tall or someone is fairer skinned, or not even fairer. It's you're either fair skinned or you're dark skinned, or we state generalizations as if they are matter of fact. Let me explain. When you have a child, or you yourself, when you go to the doctors, I know having children, those first appointments while they were young, probably up until adolescence, and even now as adults, doctors have charts, and based on your weight, your height, the size of your head, even, they tell you that you are within a certain percentile. And you can either be on the higher end or the lower end, or what they consider normal. Well, now if you know me, I don't like molds. I don't like molds. I don't like traditions. I don't like who's I'm the queen of who said that? Who told us that? Who made us believe that? And so y'all stay with me. I promise I'm going somewhere. I've come to realize that these standards, these charts, these whoever got in a room and decided what was normal and what was abnormal, what was off the spectrum and what was on the spectrum, who are they? Who are you to determine that my head is big just because it's bigger than the next person's? Who are you to determine how I should see my skin when I look in the mirror? Who are you to determine that I'm tall or short when I just may be taller than some, shorter than some, but I'm perfect? And so, again, there's just so many different ways that we can look at this idea of giving ourselves permission to be pretty. My pretty is not your pretty, and that's okay. It doesn't make you not pretty or me more than or less than or vice versa. When I say walk, I don't just say walk in power, walk in your power. That means you have to find out what your power is, the depths of it. How far can it go? What does it entail? What does your power involve? Stand in your authenticity. Stand in your realness. Don't stand in mine. Don't walk in my power. Tune in to your emotions, not mine. What frustrates me may not frustrate you. What saddens you may not sadden me. It doesn't mean that you have to turn off your emotions or tweak them to look like someone else's. This is all about you. Use transparency to your advantage. Not just transparency, but your transparency, your story. Use it to your advantage. By default, others will glean from it, from you. But use your transparency. Do not live life trying to tell someone else's story, but your story. It is yours. You are the owner of it. It is already copywritten. Listen so that you can be taught. Listen so that you can learn. And again, live in your uniqueness. What makes you special? Oh, baby, please know you are special. My name might be unique. Oh, but we are all unique. So pretty. As we can see, pretty is not simple. Pretty is not simple. That means it is not a one size fits all concept. It's not a one size fits all adjective. It's not a one size fits all principle. When people say to you, you're too difficult, I'm not. That's something we don't have to accept either. And this is for someone under the sound of my voice. If someone dares to tell you that you are difficult, baby, that just means they cannot handle all of you. And that's okay. There's a lot that makes up this woman that you see. There's a lot that comes with this man that you see, that you desire, it's okay. When I look back over my life, I have so many stories, so many experiences, and one of my children and I, we often say it feels as though we've lived so many different lives. And guess what? That's okay. So again, there are just certain things, micro and macro aggressions, that people like to put on us or put on you all. Somebody, I'm telling you, under the sound of my voice, someone they like to call you difficult, and maybe you're complex. Oh, but it's okay. God himself is so multifaceted. There's just so many different aspects of him and characteristics of him. And if we are, which we are, created in his likeness and in his image, then it's okay if there are layers to me. It's okay if my gifts are not limited to one area. It's okay for me to multitask. It's okay that I can be a friend to many, an encourager to many. I can handle it. It's okay that I juggle sometimes, or that sometimes I need to pull away. It's okay that sometimes I can be hurt, or I can be annoyed, or I may need a minute. It's okay. It's my pretty. And so, again, I pray that you are encouraged. I pray that you are empowered. Live in your pretty. Walk in your pretty. Stand in your pretty. Tune in to your pretty. Use your pretty to your advantage. Listen to your pretty. Live in your pretty.